Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to Soul Shift Messages. If you found your way here, trust there's something in this message for you. Understand this space is about growth, truth, and transformation. We don't sugarcoat, we don't bypass here, and not every message will feel comfortable, but it will be honest. I speak in flow, and sometimes that includes cussing. It's just part of how the messages come through. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust your own discernment above all else. Let's take a deep breath and get started. So if you're new here, I'm going to start by saying I've not been on camera in quite some time. And I ain't going to lie, pretty fucking nervous. Took me about 15 minutes to hit that record button. So I'm going to do my best to not be too awkward and really just focus on getting this message out. But happy to be back and still have some fear of being seen that I'm working through. So consider this video the start of me facing my Waterloo to a certain extent. So please know at this time I make weekly content in 3 parts. Part 1 focuses on what needs to be revealed. Part 2 focuses on what needs to be understood. It's often a deeper dive, kind of looks at the mechanics of what was laid out in Part 1. And Part 3 focuses on what needs to be done. What changes do we need to make to actually embody the topic that we're discussing for the week? So depending on when you find this video, this one's for part 3. So you'll find actually all the links to all available content in the series in the description box below. That way, if you come in at part 3 and you're interested in another part, you can easily jump to whatever works for you. So, and I will go back and update links to content in parts 1 and 2. And that way, no matter where you come in for the series, that you can easily find all related content. So as I said, this is part 3. This is going to be the final video in this series. And I am calling this How to Fully Embody Your Sexuality. So before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and do the disclaimers that I have for this series at this time. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So this is a gender neutral and orientation inclusive series. It is intended for adults only. Again, adults only. All who are ages 18 plus are welcome. If you are under the age of 18, please leave. All right, come back on your 18th birthday. All right. These messages will be delivered with the assumption that all acts are consensual. You are safe. And all boundaries are honored. You deserve nothing less. That's the bare minimum. If anything resonates in these messages, there's no need to feel fear, shame, or judgment. Once we recognize we have patterns in our energy that we don't want to keep, we become empowered to replace them with something that is healthier and more enjoyable. I am getting the message. Okay, so I'm hearing a number of you use subliminals. And if you don't, hang in there a minute. I'll give you a little bit of an explanation. Your guidance for this message is to really treat it like a subliminal. You can watch the video if you want. You don't have to. But I'm hearing respectfully, you've been in your head enough about this topic and they don't want you to do that. So I'm hearing like, you don't need pen and paper. You don't need a notepad. Like you just need to, they really want you to actually do what this message is actually going to convey. They really just want you to relax, be present, and just focus on listening. Take in the message. You don't need to study it. You don't need to bring your mind into it. I'm also hearing the recommendation is to not analyze it and dissect it. Really take it in for what it is, because the way that this message is actually constructed very intentionally. I'm hearing even if there's repetition, it's intentional repetition. What I'm essentially going to do with this is really, we're trying to interrupt the interruption. And I'm going to address this system that's in place point by point by point. So I'm going to hit the point, lay it out, say what needs to be done, and then move to the next one. So they really just want you to relax, focus on your breath, really be present in your body, and just receive the message. I'm hearing trust that your subconscious mind is going to receive the information that it needs and update appropriately. You don't need to bring your mind into this anymore. You don't need to study this. They really just want you to relax into it and trust that over time, you'll start to see improvement. I don't know who this is for, but if you start to feel, they're saying like stronger emotions, if you're starting to feel like energy stirring again, they just want you to relax and breathe through it. Go back into the body. So this is not something to be studied or anything like that. Just relax, take in the message. That's really all you need to do. All right. I don't know why, but I'm hearing if you get tattoos, you already know what to do. All right. The core pattern, you are always managing experience. You don't just experience things. You shape them before they begin. Enter with expectations, direction, and a subtle idea of how they should go. Monitor them while they happen. Interpret them as they unfold. Adjust them in real time and stabilize them before they can fully develop. So instead of being in experience and letting it naturally unfold, it becomes experience, pre-shaping, monitoring, interpreting, adjusting, and stabilizing. This system is always on, and that is part of the reason why I'm going to deliver this message in such a strategic way. It's always on. It is always running. We are trying to interrupt it with the ultimate goal of shutting this shit down. And that's what I'm going to lay out the framework for it. All right. You don't start neutral. You enter the experience already managing. Even your openness is slightly designed. What needs to be done? Stop managing the experience in real time. Don't improve or guide the moment while it's happening. Be in it. Let it unfold without correcting it. Enter without pre-shaping or expectations. Allow things to be messy, unclear, or imperfect. Again, this is the last time I'll say it because I'd have to repeat it with every section, but remember the assumptions. All acts are consensual, you are safe, and all boundaries are honored. All right, so imagine it's a safe space, you're safe to be in it, you're safe with whoever if someone else is there. All right. So again, you can allow things to be messy, unclear, or imperfect. The core split, experiencing versus managing. Two processes are always active. The first one is experiencing. This is feeling sensation, responding naturally, and moving toward depth. The second one is managing. This is monitoring, evaluating, interpreting, adjusting, and staying slightly outside the experience. The managing part never turns off, and it feels like you. It feels like your intelligence, your awareness, and even your identity. So letting go feels like losing yourself and not being you, even though it's not you. It still feels like you. It also maintains a consistent identity. I stay someone I recognize from moment to moment. So what needs to be done? Temporarily remove the manager and allow identity to shift. For short windows, drop all monitoring and adjusting. Just be, just exist. Let awareness move inside the experience, not outside of it. Allow yourself to feel unfamiliar or different. Again, I'm hearing it's safe to do so. Don't try to stay consistent or recognizable. It's okay to surrender to the moment. Pre-shaping performance and correctness. You don't just manage, you also perform, curate, and try to do it right. You enter with a sense of direction, a right way to experience, and subtle pressure to be correct. And I'm hearing you don't actually need any of those. Internal signals of this are thoughts like, am I doing this right? Is this good enough? You prioritize correctness over aliveness. What needs to be done? Just drop the performance and the correctness. Again, I'm hearing you don't need it. Let it be awkward, off, or wrong. I don't know if there's actually a wrong way to do this, but that did come through, so I'm going to honor it. Stop optimizing how you show up. Don't aim for a correct experience. Aim for a real one. And allow rawness instead of refinement. Interpretation, meaning making, and mental translation. You don't stay with sensation. That's often where you leave. You don't stay with sensation. You quickly convert sensation to labeling, to meaning, to interpretation. And this is the part that happens so fast, you often don't even consciously realize you've already done it. You also track what this means, where it's going, and whether it's real or aligned. So you relate to the idea of experience instead of actually the experience itself, because you're leaving it. So what needs to be done? Stay in raw sensation. Stay in the body. Stay with what you are feeling. All right? And you need to delay meaning. Stay in the body and out of the mind. All right? No interpreting during the experience. If you recognize you have, go straight back into the body. Focus on what you feel. All right? Don't ask what it means or where it's going. Let it be unclear, undefined, and unresolved. All right? Allow, not knowing. I'm hearing you have all the time in the world after the experience to interpret it and dissect it if you want to. I'm hearing you don't have to, but I'm hearing if you feel the need to, that's actually the time, not during the experience, all right? Continuous micro interruptions and broken momentum. This is a loop, all right? So the loop is you engage, you monitor and adjust, you correct that adjustment, and you continue. So it feels continuous, but it's not. All right. The experience is constantly being broken and restarted. This doesn't just limit depth. All right. It breaks momentum. Nothing builds long enough to become immersive, self-sustaining, and naturally escalating. So what needs to be done? Protect continuity and let momentum build. When you feel the urge to check or adjust, don't follow it. All right? It's just a thought. It's just an urge. You don't have to entertain it. All right? If you feel that urge, again, I just keep hearing go back into the body. Focus again on what you're feeling. Be in the moment. That's your mind trying to come in. You don't have to actually pay it attention. All right? Stay with the same experience without resetting and let it carry forward without interruption. Intensity regulation, flattening instead of expanding. You don't suppress intensity. You regulate it early. As energy rises, you smooth it, level it, and keep it within a controlled range. So instead of rising, deepening, and expanding, you get rising, leveling, and plateau. You actually cap how far that goes. All right? You stabilize instead of expand. So what needs to be done? Let intensity rise without interference. You can do this. The system is what tries to interrupt this. I'm hearing you are more than capable of overriding it. All right? Don't cap or smooth it. Don't stabilize early. Let it grow beyond your usual limits. Okay? It is used to stepping in at a certain point. Part of interrupting the interruption is to actually stay and let it grow in the experience beyond what you would normally tolerate. All right? There's a reason I have the disclaimers for this. All right? But you do. You need to hang in there longer. And again, if you do come out of full embodiment, go right back into the body. Thoughts don't need to be entertained in the moment. All right? Actually, let me grab some water. The critical moment, you pull back at the threshold. So you don't pull back at peak. You pull back at the moment where things become unpredictable. Clarity drops. Control would decrease. And the experience would start affecting you. This is the point of irreversibility. All right, this is where the experience would start running you. This is where you actually shift into that surrender, out of control, into surrender. You're not actually supposed to be in the controlling aspect, but for the sake of this video and what we're trying to tackle, this is where you would hit that surrender aspect, where you would not be able to control it anymore. So what needs to be done? You need to stay past that exact moment. When you are tempted to pull back, stay there, all right? And when you do want to pull back, again, it doesn't need to be forever. You just need to interrupt that system. Stay, even if you have to start with a few seconds, stay a few seconds longer, but try to stay about 10 to 20 seconds longer. Why that time frame? I don't know. That came through though. So stay 10 to 20 seconds longer than you'd normally want to, all right? When you want to pull back. Interrupt the interruption. All right? Let yourself be carried instead of controlling. Limiting impact, identity, and transformation. You regulate how much you feel, how much it affects you, and who you're allowed to be. You allow experience but contain its impact. So it doesn't fully move you. It doesn't change your state. And it doesn't transform you. There is an underlying preference of stability over transformation. And embodying your sexuality in the ways that you're comfortable with it should be transforming on some level. All right? I'm hearing that's totally healthy. So if you're into spiritual purity, first off, my channel is not for you, and this topic certainly is not, but I'm just hearing we're not here to deny aspects of ourselves. We're not. In sexuality, in healthy, fully embodied sexuality is an important aspect of this experience. That may vary from person to person, but I feel like for majority of people, they would say that is an important aspect of their experience. All right. So what needs to be done? Let the experience affect and change you. Again, you have your assumptions in place. It's a safe space. Let it affect and change you. I'm hearing you're safe to do so. If you don't actually feel safe to do so, I'm hearing get the whole fuck out of there. All right? And they're saying, they say that with love, but they're like, if you don't actually feel comfortable enough to let go with someone you're being intimate with, get out of there. Do not hesitate. All right? Let sensation move through you. Don't contain it. Let it spread. All right? They're showing me again what I saw in the last video. It's just like it's waves of energy just like rippling through the body. That's how it's supposed to be. All right? Allow your state to shift. Let yourself feel different. And don't hold your identity in place. I'm hearing there's just no need for that. I'm hearing you don't need to be doing all of that. All right? Interrupted cycles and incomplete experience. The natural cycle is build, deepen, peak, release, settle. Your current pattern is build, partial deepen, adjust, stabilize, and stop. All right? So there's no full peak. There is no full release. And I'm hearing you can have a physical release and still not have a full release. And no completion. All right. And what needs to be done is let experiences complete. They don't need these interruptions. They don't need this level of control. I'm hearing it was never intended to be this way. That's half the reason why they had me do this topic and put this series together, because they just said it's not necessary and this is more pervasive than anyone really recognizes. And it's time that we tackle this. All right? Stay through the full cycle. Don't cut off early. Allow, peak, and release. Overregulation leads to disconnection. After too much monitoring, adjusting, and holding, you shift into dullness, low energy, and lack of desire. And why? Because frankly speaking, this is a shit ton of work to be doing while you're in the experience. Like, that split is exhausting. Even sometimes when I was delivering these messages, it's like, I'm tired just reading this. So that's why they're saying that's part of why it happens, because the split keeps you disconnected and it actually drains you. Damn. All right. Disconnection is the result, not the problem. All right. So what needs to be done? Reduce early interference. All right. Don't regulate at the beginning. Let it flow. Let things build naturally first. I'm hearing follow where it leads. I'm hearing you'll know what to do and when to do it if you just follow where your body leads. Just let it progress naturally. I'm hearing some of you, as you start to make this shift, you're going to find yourselves pleasantly surprised in more ways than one. All right. Predictive awareness, clarity, and control. You are anticipating, preparing, and staying ahead of the moment. You prefer clarity, understanding, and orientation. But real experience is unpredictable, messy, and unclear. I'm hearing uncoordinated. I'm hearing them movies lie, that shit's all scripted. It is uncoordinated, let's be for real. So when clarity drops, you restore it and exit the experience. So what needs to be done? Stay in the present. Stay in the present and tolerate uncertainty. All right? Make sure, I'm hearing spontaneity is not a bad thing. Like, make sure your boundaries are honored, but spontaneity is not a bad thing. All right? Bring attention to what is happening now. Stop tracking what's next. If you stay in the moment, what's next will just naturally present itself. You don't have to, you don't need a playbook for this. You really don't. And if you do have a playbook, I have a feeling that will get pretty repetitive after a while. And you probably want to switch that up anyway. All right? Let things be unclear without fixing them. All right? Awareness versus experience. This is trust and control. You trust awareness, monitoring, and checking more than experience itself. There's a belief, if I don't manage this, something could go wrong. So you intervene early. Keep control in reserve and always maintain an exit. You convert raw experience into something manageable. So what needs to be done? Let experience run without oversight. All right? Don't verify or check it. Don't prepare to exit. Allow small amounts of risk. Key emphasis on small amounts of risk. For some of you, that just starts with when you feel like pulling back, to not do that immediately. Give it that few seconds pause to interrupt that interruption. All right? Keep the experience raw, not controlled. Let it be what it is. Lack of direct evidence. This is why the pattern persists. You've almost never experienced something without monitoring. That is the nature of the beast of this system. And this doesn't just apply to sexuality. It's just very noticeable in sexuality due to the intimate nature of it. Okay? So you've almost never experienced something without monitoring or stayed long enough for it to stabilize on its own. So your system assumes I have to manage this, and you interrupt before trust can form and experience can prove itself. That is part of the reason why you need to interrupt that interruption. So your system learns that you were safe the whole time. You didn't need it to step in and manage itself, that it would actually just manage itself. All right, I'm hearing the body is more than capable of managing itself. It does not need the mind involved in that. And I'm hearing for some of you that will make more sense as these changes start taking place. So what needs to be done? Stay long enough for proof. Allow the system to be proven wrong so that it learns we don't need to do this. All right? Let the experience continue without interference. Allow it to show it can hold itself. All right? Timing and continuity, the missing ingredient. You can access experience, but you don't stay long enough. There is a time threshold required for depth, momentum, and immersion. You consistently exit before reaching it. So what needs to be done? Stay longer than your instinct. Extend the moment. Remain past discomfort. All right? I'm hearing with this system that discomfort is a liar. All right? Again, don't violate your own boundaries. I trust you to use this information appropriately. But when you're trying to interrupt this system, remain past discomfort. How long? That will be your discretion. All right? Let depth develop over time. All right? There are time thresholds in this system. The system is always on. This is not reactive. All right? Monitoring at this time is your baseline state. That is part of the reason why this system kicks in so fast, so strong, and often without you even realizing it. You enter every experience already aware, prepared, and ready to adjust. Why? It's your baseline state. It is what it is. And I'm hearing you can change this. You don't have to stay here. So what needs to be done? Turn it off intentionally. Even if it's just briefly, just turn it off. All right. Practice short periods with no monitoring. Some of you may just want to meditate for short periods of time. I'm not saying during the experience, it's probably not the best timing, but I'll leave that up to you. But just in your day, practice short periods with no monitoring. Just be. Don't think. Don't attach yourself to things. Just be present in the body, in the moment. I'm here, and practice makes perfect. All right. And then when you are actually in the experience, let awareness rest inside the experience. Stay in it. All right. If you catch yourself slipping out of it and splitting, back into the body. What do you feel? Go back to the senses. All right. The final message: you don't let experience run on its own long enough to discover that it actually can run long enough without your interference. You don't actually need to be doing any of this. All right? Let it run. No managing, correcting, or checking. You don't need to do any of that. Just stay, feel, allow, and continue. That's all you need to do. Be in the moment. You don't need more insight or understanding on this topic. You don't. You just need more uninterrupted experience. Start small. You will weaken this system, and eventually it will just stop doing this. All right? But you do need to recognize in the beginning when it's happening and shift it. And you can absolutely do this. All right? Let it be messy, unclear, intense, change you, and most importantly, let it happen without making sure of anything. You don't need to be doing any of this. You really can be fully in the moment and enjoying yourself. All right? That's all I have for this message. So again, this is part 3. So I'll make sure all the links and all the description boxes of this series are updated. And I will be back. Oh, they actually wanted me to share what the next topic is. So I will be back on Sunday, and we are going to talk about imposter syndrome. So there's a fun short story about how I got to imposter syndrome in my healing journey, which was very recent. But yeah, that's what we'll be talking about next. So tune in for that if that resonates with you, and if not, that's totally fine. Take care of yourselves, beautiful beings. Until next time, bye.